Hallelujah, hallelujah, glory. Hello, and welcome to Let's Get Acquainted. This, I call this our Juneteenth edition. I have with me tonight a very special guest, Dr. Shirley Reese. And she's going to be sharing a story with us that most of you have never heard. I know I never heard it until she told it. In fact, she waited 52 years before she even started telling her story. And so as you come in, please make sure that you let us know where you're coming in from and share this out. Tag a friend, tag a family member so that they can hear this amazing story of how the price for our freedom was paid by many people. And many of those stories have been untold. And here it is. We're getting a story that's been untold for many years. But now we get to know it, and we pray that it goes down in the history books as a story no longer hidden. And so with that, make sure you come in, share, let us know where you're coming in from. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to share by taking a little commercial break right off the bat, because we don't want to take too many breaks tonight, because I want to make sure that you hear this amazing story from Dr. Reese. And so let me see here. Trying to get this video up, and also we're here because we want to also request a living donor for. So that's part 2 of our story of why we're here tonight. And so let me just play this video. We'll all get a chance to share this out and make sure that we get some more people, as many people as possible, to hear this story that's untold. But here it is now, for such a time as yes. So I don't know how hot it is where you are, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it is hot in Chicago. Come on, video. It is hot here, but I'm loving it, because the next thing I know, it'll be wintertime. Wintertime, and I'm never ready for the wintertime. Thank you for coming in. All night I can't get my video going, but you know what? Tag and share somebody, share this out. Anyway, make sure that you do that. In fact, I want to get my phone, because I have a couple of groups that I want to make sure that I share this to if the video is trying to come up, so we don't just take up too much time with this part of the show. And so as you know, I had my first, maybe you don't know, but I had my first international broadcast that'll be every third Thursday this morning, and that show is going to be just having trouble with the video, so we're not going to sweat it. Except we're going to have it every third Thursday of the month with an international guest, and I'll be broadcasting in the morning so that they'll be able to come on in their afternoon and evening times, rather than the middle of the night. So I'm just taking a minute here to share this. What I'm going to do is play our 30-second. I can't play our 30-second countdown, and that's going to give us a little help as well. So let's do that. Share and add this broadcast. Thank you so much. What is it doing? But you can't stress too much. Can't get upset. With that, again, I'm not going to sweat it, but I'm going to share this broadcast out before I get started with you guys. I have to do that. Absolutely. So So make sure that you're sharing and tagging someone. Thank you so much. As I do the same thing as I'm doing right this minute. Make sure to get the word out so we can have as many people join us live as possible. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is go ahead and bring out my guest. And again, I have with me Dr. Shirley Reese. I pray that she's going to be someone that we all get to know very well, because she decided, you know what, I'm not going to keep this a secret. I'm going to tell this story, and so that it does not die. Yeah. Here she is now. Come on out, Dr. Reese. Thank you so much for being
here. Hey, Hillary.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. We just met over a week ago, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here we are.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. Yeah, I would like to share.
So glad to have you. Glad to have you on the show.
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored to be here.
I want to just put here. Okay. So everyone, this is like I've been saying her name over and over because I want you to get this name in your head. She is a former educator, a military spouse, and one of the Leesburg Stockade Girls. This is from 1963. And this again is a story that many people have not heard. Well, she's here tonight to tell it. And tell it because it's her story, right? Some people may say, well, maybe it didn't happen like she said. It happened the way she said it, the way she remembers it, and that's what we're going to get out tonight. And so, let's see. Doctor, it's so much to your story. How do we begin? How did this story come about? From what I read, and I read many documents that you sent me that had to do with there was a protest. And we all know there were many protests in that era, the 60s for Black freedom. And so, how did you end up in the protest? Because you were just a young girl, about 13, as I remember. Is that right?
Yes. What I'm going to do, Hillary, is share my experiences concerning how I, as a young teenager, 13 years of age, was arrested for participating in a peaceful protest for equal rights and held as prisoners with 14 other Black girls in a Leesburg Stockade building in Lee County, Georgia in 1963. I'm honored to share my story with you and the world. I was 13 years of age when I heard the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speeches. I heard his speeches when I was a child on the television and radio. His powerful messages inspired me. It inspired me to join the March for Equality and Justice for everyone. I never got a chance to meet Dr. King, but I believed in his nonviolent mission for equal rights for everyone. I truly believe that at an early age that everyone should have the right to their freedom, regardless of their race, creed, religion, or color. So I decided to become a faithful and active foot soldier for equal rights. During the 1963 violent civil rights movement in Americas in Sumter County, I did not realize how dangerous the situation was at the time. Many people of all ages were jailed for protesting throughout the city. The 15 Leesburg Stockade Girls, who are women today, played a major role in challenging Georgians, as well as the nation, the entire nation, to create a better place for everyone. On July 15, 1963, After attending an uplifting mass meeting at the Friendship Baptist Church, I and other participants in a peaceful march to the Martin Theater in downtown Americus, Georgia, with the intention to integrate the white entrance of the theater. Please note, during this time in our history, Black people were not allowed to purchase their movie tickets at the front office. We were only allowed to purchase our tickets at the backside office of the building and walk down a dark side alley to enter the theater. We were only allowed to sit in the upper level balcony of the theater, while the white patrons were seated in the lower level of the theater. We also had separate bathrooms and concession stands. During the peaceful demonstration in an effort to purchase tickets to enter the theater at the white patrons ticket box, a group of policemen arrived at the theater and immediately asked us to disperse and leave the area. We did not move. We stood still in a unified and well-organized manner as a non-violent group. We immediately began to sing, "We Shall Overcome." Right after we finished singing, a large transfer truck, I remembered that good, arrived at the scene, and several police officers told us to disperse again and leave the area. We continued to sing and remain as nonviolent protesters. The arresting officer shouted out very nasty and told all of us, all the protesters, "You are all under arrest." Immediately after, I did not have any earthly idea what was going on as a child. So I continued to follow with the crowd and got in the big truck. We honored the request of the police officers quietly, but I had no idea what was in store for me. As a young child, I was confused and very scared, without my parents not knowing about my arrest and why. I did not understand or had no idea about what was about to happen to Shirley Green at the time. I did not commit a crime. I did not break any laws, nor violated any rules for the punishment I received. I was not informed of any formal or written charges for my arrest. None of us. I was transported along with many other protesters, and listen at this clearly, 30 miles away from my home in Americus, Georgia, to a small town in Dawson, Georgia. I was held as a prisoner in a jail cell with many other young girls and women protesters of all ages. My parents were not notified that I had been arrested and taken 30 miles out of the city. I remained in Dawson, Georgia, jail overnight without food or water. Early the next morning, during the dark, wee hours of the morning, I and 14 other young Black girls between the ages of 12 to 15 years of age were taken out of the jail cell in Dawson, Georgia, and transported another 25 more miles in a small paddy wagon truck to Lee County, Georgia. We were held as prisoners in an old, dilapidated, deplorable, filthy, and inhumane Leesburg Stockade building that was covered with many bushes on the outside, and it was located in the country area of the county. We were held hostage in this building for 60 days. During my horrific experiences without my parents not knowing of my location for 2 weeks, I became frightened and could not think clearly about what would happen to me without any contact with family or parents. For the next 60 days, we lived with spider webs all over the inside of the building, paint peeling off the walls. The barred windows and doors in the building were clustered with dangerous broken pieces of glass all over the floor. We did not have beds, sheets, pillows, or blankets to sleep on. We slept on the dirty and hard concrete floor with many pieces of broken glass. We did not have any protection to prevent mosquitoes, roaches, and other types of insects from entering the barred windows. A diamondback rattlesnake, was spotted on the floor early one morning. Our young lives were in danger. We did not have air conditioning or fans during the hot summer months. We did not have any lights in the building. It was very dark and scary at night. Remember, we was children, ages 12 to 15 years of age. We did not have any water to drink or to take a shower. We had an old rusted shower head with no faucets that did not work. It only leaked streams of hot water. We did not have bath cloths, paper towels, or toilet tissue. The toilet was broken and filled with body waste from day to day, and it would not flush. The odor in the building from the stocked up toilet was unbearable from day to day. Furthermore, we did not have soap, toothpaste, or toothbrushes. We did not have a sink with faucets. Personal hygiene and medical supplies and a host of other items that were needed for personal use, we did not have. We received very little food. Only 4 small, barely cooked hamburgers with no condiments on them every day. That's all we got. 4 small hamburgers per day. Some days they will alter the 4 hamburgers and bring us undercooked egg sandwiches with no additional dessert, water, or napkins. We lived under horrific, inhumane, and deplorable conditions with nothing but the clothes on our backs. The same clothing we were wearing on the first day of our arrest in Americas. We endured psychological, mental, physical, and health problems during our detainment. Our parents finally found us after many days of searching for our whereabouts. They had a hard time trying to find us because it was so dangerous and it was very violent throughout the streets in Americas. People could not hardly walk the street. In mid-September 1963, we were released. From July 15th to mid-September 1963, count the days on your calendar. We were released from the stockade after John Lewis, the famous John Lewis, the SNCC chairman at the time in 1963, and his administrators, Julian Bond, James Foreman, and Danny Lyons, the SNCC, the photographer who found us and took several pictures of our living arrangement. Danny Lyons sent our pictures that he had taken to indicating that to several newspapers all over the world, national black newspapers indicating that these black girls were sleeping in a hellhole in Lee County. He also sent it to the Jet magazine, and I had an opportunity to find it. The group pictures is in there, but it does not explain anything about what had happened to us. Dandelions also sent out pictures to a former United States senator who was a civil rights supporter who presented our pictures and the story at his 114th Congressional First Session meeting and recorded the story on pages 7456 into the National Congressional Records in Washington, D.C. I have a copy of those congressional records. Soon after, the documents were signed in the congressional records. An executive order was sent down from Washington, D.C. to Leesburg, Georgia to release the girls immediately from the stockade. Thank God. I know in my heart that we made a difference in pursuing the rights for equality, and I have no regrets concerning my efforts during the time and to protest for equal rights. It is my hope, and please listen at this clearly, it is my hope that this situation will never happen to another child or children or human beings again. After several years of researching this story with dandelions and the commissioners and judges and everybody in Leesburg, Georgia, I am pleased that I can finally share this historical, hidden, and true story regarding my mistreatment, abuse, and the violation of my civil and human rights. Without a doubt, my horrific experiences in the stockade became a vital catalyst in my educational and professional accomplishments. After my stockade experiences, I began to focus immediately on getting my education. I had been advised by my mother during my childhood days to believe that in order for me to move forward and make a difference in my life, I had to invest in my education. It was not easy. It was not an easy task given the fact that it was during the 1960s and the Jim Crow era. The opportunity for children and adults of color were very limited. Nevertheless, this situation did not stop me from working hard and setting goals for myself. Furthermore, as early as I can remember, this experience and many more during my childhood days gave me the determination to get a quality education. I received my bachelor's degree from Savannah State University, master's degree from Georgia State University, and my Doctor of Philosophy degree from Florida State University in 2 years. A university with no blacks could attend in 1963. My educational accomplishments and local, state, and national-wide community services provided me with many opportunities to hold many positions as professor, assistant vice president, director of development, director of athletics, the first female athletics in the state of Georgia from 1993 to 1998, a special recreational project administrator at Georgia State University, departmental chair, a city councilman. I served as a councilwoman, including serving five consecutive years on the National NCAA Management Council. At the time, I was the only Black serving on that council from 1993 to 1998. I have also been actively involved with many community and public service programs and activities, including serving on the local, state, and national professional boards and committees. I think you had a question, Hillary.
Dr. Reese, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Please be reminded that after 50, I can't hear you.
I wanted to stop right here for a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
But because you said so much, and people, saying, wow, and, well, thank God that, you made it out of there. And it's just one of those things. Some of the questions that came to mind was when you were receiving those 4 hamburgers every day, were they also giving you water to drink? So you have to wash that stuff down?
We didn't have any water. We didn't have any water to drink the entire days.
There was no drinking.
No water. Just only 4 barely cooked hamburgers, and sometimes it was raw inside. And some of the girls got sick eating them. Yes. Now you're breaking up.
And there was one young lady in my reading the story. Okay, hopefully you can get this. Reading the story. One young lady was pregnant.
Yes, that was Verna Hollis. She was very sick. She was pregnant, but she was not aware, and we definitely was not aware that she was pregnant. But she would eat the hamburger, but they would not stay on her stomach. She didn't have any other food but those 4 hamburgers per day. The same thing we had. Plus, she was weak, too weak to stand with the group when Danny Lyons approached the window and asked all of us to get in a group. She could not stand. So that's why he had a chance to take her picture sitting on the floor. But after she got out, she had a healthy son. Thank God she had a healthy son.
You know what I was?
Who we call? Yeah, you're breaking up.
But right now, it stops to show everybody, and hopefully everything goes well with this video clip. A small documentary that was done that you shared with me that shows this stockade, this old stockade. I'm not sure. I read somewhere they said they thought it was from the Civil War, but we don't really know. But it was really old and unused. And so I want to show just a part of this clip so people can see what you've been talking about. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So that's the building, the stockade that they were in.
Yes, that's the building. But it looked much different. It looked different.
Water, they were there.
The building had been closed down for many years, I assume, for over the years, because I was told that the building was built in the 1940s.
Let the video play a little bit, and then we'll talk some more.
On the day that I was arrested, we was marching at the we knelt down and prayed in front of the police station. We knelt down.
Okay, so I'm back on the screen, and I hope you can hear me. And I just wanted to share part of this video. It's on YouTube. Can you hear me? What?
You're breaking up a little bit. You're still breaking up.
Okay. Well, like I said, just got to make it. But I'm not sure what's happening. But I wanted to share a part of the video just so you can see this place that they were taking 12-year-old to 16-year-old girls and had them locked away for 60 days. We can't even imagine it. And another reason of why we're here today is because of that incident. Dr. Reese's kidney, today, she has a problem with her kidneys at only 18% functioning because of that incident. And so we're here because she's seeking a living donor, a living kidney donor, hero, and so she's on the Vanderbilt Transplant Center listing. And so we're just trying to get the word out about the story, but also for a donor, for a kidney donor for Dr. Reese.
Thank you.
And so that's why we want you to share this out. That's why we want you to tag people so that they too can do the same thing, share and tag, and let's keep it a ripple effect to get this story out and to get Dr. Reese a donor for her kidney, right? And so, when we talked earlier, I had a question about your parents knowing within 2 weeks, but then they held you out another, like 4 weeks. What was it like when you got out? I mean, what was that process when you actually got out? We didn't talk about that.
Yes.
The day
when I got out, I went straight home. I don't know where the other girls landed because, we were 13. So when we got out, we went separate ways. And from time to time, after leaving the stockade, I left town and started, at Savannah. Well, I continued to school. Well, we all went to school after that. As a matter of fact, school was in 2 weeks before we had a chance to get out. But after, participating, after going to school and all that kind of stuff, I left town immediately after graduating and started my educational venture at Savannah State. But from time to time, when I would come home on the weekend and holidays, I would see some of the girls passing by, but we never got together and talked about it until 2015. Until 2015, I sponsored a
but still,
program. Yes, you're still breaking up.
I'm still curious about the day that you all got out.
Yes.
Who was there? Was it NAACP? Was it?
No.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
I got
Because
you
we didn't talk
thinking
about that.
because you're
day
breaking
like?
up a little bit. When we got out, no one came to that stockade to visit us but parents. And I can't say who parents came and who did not, but I know my parents came, and with my small brother, who was, I think, 7 or 10, but they could not stay long. We could not hug them. Whatever they brought us, like knickknacks and stuff, they passed it to us through the bars. And I know everybody's indicating that why, you all couldn't get out. There was no bail system. Everything, we didn't have any kind of system for the protesters. The city was torn up. And my parents, my mom, I remember her, she had tears in her eyes and things like that because she didn't have any idea that I had slipped away from home one Saturday afternoon. Okay. And then I ended up in that situation. So I can't say anything about how the other girls felt or anything like that because they will have to share their personal experience, because all of us have personal stories to tell about what went on, during those days. I can't hear you.
There weren't any news people around.
No newspapers, no NAACP. And let me share this with you. Let me share this quickly. The March on Washington was going on while we was there in the stockade. And we got out of jail the same time they bombed those 4 little girls over there in Birmingham. We was just getting out of jail. There was no support from anybody. Nobody. So that's why, the only people. Yeah, I'm still breaking up. I can't hear you. Okay.
I was saying that story about the church. That's going down in history. But your story,
yes,
we're just now hearing about it. That's just really something.
Right. Even a lot of people who live in Americus, Georgia, were not aware of the story, but it appears that everybody knows the story. But the only people who can talk about that story are those 15 girls, and 7 are dead, are deceased. 7 of the 15 girls are deceased, and 8 are living all throughout the world. And some of them are having various
the marker.
Oh, the marker. Okay, the marker was
you were able to
we received the 2019 historical marker from the Georgia Historical Society on September 22nd, 2019. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So I worked hard to get that. So it is a documented story on behalf of the man who found us, Danny Lyons. Leesburg Stockade had a chance to help me document this story, and I feel so good that it is there, and anybody can go by the stockade and see that marker. That's us.
Yeah. Yes. When I saw that, I was like, wow, this is so good. So they can't just tear it down as if it never happened. Now it has to stand. That's a historical building.
Yes.
And that's a good thing. I'm glad.
Well, the schools
them until you got that done.
Yes, the school system is in charge of that building, so we're in the process of looking for some. We're looking for as a museum. That's what we're looking into it, making that a museum. So we're working on that slowly and quietly, and I'm working with them on that.
That is so amazing. And
Yes,
so,
it is.
just like we were saying, I was saying earlier, the other reason why we're here is Dr. Reese is looking for a living donor. And this is very serious and it's very urgent, actually. She looks good, but she's taking care of herself, and she keeps going and
Yes,
going and going like an energizer buddy. When you see all of the things that she has accomplished since that day, she did not let that stop her. You know, she's done so many things in helping other people, and especially helping the youth, right?
yes. I
So
yes,
she
I
still has
have yeah, I have excellent doctors. I have some
doing what she does
excellent
best,
doctors
educating.
at Vanderbilt. Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I have some excellent doctors, some top-notch doctors at Vanderbilt who takes good care of me. So I will continue to work on this and get back to where I need to get. How about that?
Wonderful. That's amazing. You know, I told her, I said, you have some doctors that's your personal friends. They look out for you.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
everybody, you know, if you're not one that's going to, because I forgot to put in here that the blood type for a match would be type A plus.
Yes, A plus,
or O.
A or O. Yes.
Right?
Right.
Blood type. Yeah, so this is the phone number. Please do take a screenshot, take a picture, do something so you can have this information to share it with on your pages, in your group, you know, with people that you know, even in your community, that may be a match, that may be willing to be that living kidney donor hero. That's what we're looking for, a hero.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Reese in this situation. This is the price that she paid for our freedom, not for her own freedom, but ours too. Little did she know that's what you didn't know that's what you would do.
No, I did not. But that's right.
You know, and we want young people to hear the story, right?
Right. Did you say what did you say? You're still breaking up.
It was, I'm sorry, but it was one of the reasons that she wanted young people, another reason for telling the story, so young people can know that something like can happen, and even if you're trying to fight for your rights, especially in light of what happened in 2020, a lot of young people have become involved.
That's right.
And standing up for.
That's right. A lot of. That's right. And
so, you know
I always
be watchful.
Mm-hmm. Say that again, because you know you're still breaking up a little bit.
Okay, but tell us, you know, your thoughts about the young people that are standing up today.
The only thing that I have to say about kids today is to stay focused and get an education and set goals for themselves and move forward. And if you don't do that, you're gonna have problems. And because there's money out there if you want to go to school. It's a lot of money out there. As a former professor, it's money out there for you. There's no excuse not to get an education, especially in today's society. They have it better than I had it today, because we didn't have all the financial resources during the time when I was there. We were struggling, trying to make sure that we stayed in school, especially during the 60s. So now they have all kinds of scholarships that they can apply for, and you don't have to just get one, you can get several. So throughout my life, I have encouraged a lot of girls to get their educational degrees, and I have helped them throughout my life. So That's all I can say, because today is tough. They cannot get jobs. They can't do anything, but work at these local stores, which is just tough. So get an education. It is almost free out there if you know how to, get those scholarships and keep those GPAs up. You can go anywhere you want to go in this world if you got that. That's the only thing. And stay focused.
That was two great things. You said that there's plenty of scholarships out here, but you got to keep your grades up too. I interviewed
Got to.
a young lady who she teaches. Yeah, I interviewed a young lady. She teaches, shows other young people how to get those different scholarships so that they can go to school. She went to school all 4 years. She didn't have to pay a dime.
Oh, that's right.
Because she was diligent in seeking out those different grants and scholarships. Yeah. And so now that's part of what she does as an entrepreneur.
Yes. For all Black girls,
Mm-hmm.
all Black girls all over the world, get that education and go to school.
Yes,
that's right. And make a difference.
So
and make a difference.
We're at the top of, yes, making a difference in the lives not only of the students but the parents' pockets. Yeah.
And don't forget community service. Perform your community service, because that's what make you whole. You got to help other people.
Yes, that's so true.
And I want to share the last thing I want. Hillary, I just want to share one thing that Martin Luther King encouraged me for my closure. Yeah, I'm asking everyone to live out the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy through education and community service. He reminded the world that human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, struggling, and suffering. These are the words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you all for listening, and I appreciate it. And continue to follow the story, because on WALB.com, WRBL.com, the National Smithsonian Museum, who else? Oh, everybody. It's on the website. It's all over. I've put it all over. So just key in Leesburg Stockade Girls, and you will read up. Now, one thing, there was some conflicting information in the past. So after 2019, everything that you read is a part of the Georgia Historical Society marker. Anything beyond that, I'm telling my story. This is a story that I have helped to get it documented, because there will be some conflicting things out there that everybody's trying to write a book, everybody trying to do a movie, and they don't even know anything about the girls. So just continue to follow us as much as possible, because it's a lot more to come. Believe me. Thank you. Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you. I thank you so much, Dr. Reese. We'll have to get together again where my stuff is not all sounding like this.
That's all right. You're doing good.
Glad that we pressed through, because now we have more people that have heard your story than have heard it yesterday. And that's the whole goal.
Right.
To keep getting the story out, and just to know that there are so many untold stories, that there are things that happen to a lot of people. And I'm just so thankful that you're telling this story, because it's
thank you so much for having.
I love to hear those stories, and they make you, they make you want to fight just a little bit more today, because you had to fight back then. You had to endure it, and if you endure something like that, we can endure what we're going through today, and we can also you get this word out for, it says seeking a living kidney donor, hero
Yes.
or shero. And you can contact the Vanderbilt Transplant Center.
Yes.
And the number is, if
Or
you're
they can contact me.
listening, the number is
Or they can contact me.
615-936-0695. Or you can call 866-748-1491. Take a picture, take a screenshot, share this video across your platform and across other platforms that you know, so that people can know about Dr. Reese and this story of these 13 girls that up until you waited like 52 years before you were able to be ready to tell your story. So I'm all on board with you.
That's right.
I'm just so glad that you're doing this. And so,
thank you.
Again, I want to thank everyone who has watched on tonight, that shared and commented. And I also want to just say thank you for sharing it out. And I'm here Dr. Reese, thank you for your final words. Thank you for the
Thank you.
words about Martin Luther King. And I'm going to see you in the studio in just 1 minute. So
okay.
Don't go, all right?
I would not. Thank you, Hillary. Love you.
Okay. So that was my guest tonight, Dr. Shirley Reese. And she's like the fourth Shirley that I've met in the last maybe 30, 40 days. And I just love it all of them. But again, thank you for coming to Let's Get Acquainted, where we're telling stories about other people and what they're doing in the world to help people at large and globally. And Dr. Reese has done so much in her life. If you Google her, you'll be amazed at all the things that she's done and what she's doing today. And so just get connected, get this word out. And I say, we want to all tell our stories, because those that are coming behind us need to know that it might not have been easy, but we all can make it. We all can make it together. We can go further together than alone. So be here again with me on next Thursday, where we'll be talking about Men's International and National Men's Health Month. It'll be our final one for the month. And then every Tuesday, you can catch me on the Vibrant Good Health Show. And that's why I talk about all things that you can do to help your body help you live a more vibrant life by having more vibrant health, activating your lymphatic system. And that's at Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. This show is 6 p.m. Central and 7 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for bearing with the sound. But most of all, thank you for sharing and telling someone else about this amazing story and Dr. Reese, and for helping to get that living kidney donor, hero or shero, so that she can continue to run on and tell her story. God bless you all. Good night.